What is going on, YouTube? Tommy here from Tommy's Tech Tips with another quick life update for you / story time. Let's just get into it. I like to start these videos quick. So was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I found this dude on Facebook Marketplace, or FB Marketplace as I like to call it, who is selling a bag for really cheap that I really liked, and I really like this bag. I want to get it. I got it. And so I text this guy on FB and I say, "Hey, ... this is Tommy Fleece. I'm from," and I said my city, my full name, and my address. And then I said, "I really need this bag. I'll pay double the asking price if I can come get it right now." And he, bless his heart, he said yes. He lived an hour away. And to me, this is like a thing where it's like worth it. Like I found a good deal and it's like an hour away, and I'm like, and then he says, I've also got a bunch of other cool stuff. Like, why don't you look on my page and see if there's anything else you like? And, on FB, so you can go on FB and look at his page. I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm like, this guy has a great collection of stuff. He's got like toys, magazines, like all this stuff I'm into, like really like similar taste. And so I pick up a buddy, and I told my buddy what we were gonna do, and he was like, "That sounds a little weird." And like I was like, "You just don't get some people just don't. We're losing that as a people, like going to person to person connection. I feel like we're losing that." And I want to keep it alive, me personally. And so my friend asked me to take him home. So I after I was alone, I felt just more excited and more comfortable to like be my true self on this endeavor, and just like not have to worry about anybody. And so I show up. I was a little bit late because I went to the wrong address. I drove an hour out of the wrong direction, and God bless this man. He let me into his home. We're getting there, but I show up to his place. He's like, "You're here for the bag, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm here for the bag." I gave him $20 because he was asking 10, and I gave him 20. I was like, "Yeah, dude, you got a lot of cool stuff." And he was like, "Why don't you come inside? I want you to come inside." And I said, "Okay." And then he was like, "Are your shoes dirty?" And I said, I don't know. And he said, "Take them off." And he said it like exactly like that. And I was like, this guy doesn't play around. And I want to surround myself with people like that. And so I take my shoes off, and I'm not wearing any socks. So I'm wearing my Docs with no socks, because the Docs, when you wear Doc Martens, they form to your foot if you wear them with no socks. So that's what I did, and they work perfectly. That's a little side tidbit. And so I took my shoes, and so I took my shoes off, and then he's showing me like his house. He's like, "So this was built in the 18th century. It was my grandmother's house. It's a beautiful house." And then he takes me into his bedroom. He opens the door to his bedroom, and I see his bed and all this stuff. And then he shows me his collection. And he has the most wonderful collection of stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. And I start grabbing stuff off the shelves, and there's like little robots and little like machines and stuff, and little toys, little comic books. I'm grabbing stuff, and then I break one. Yeah. That happened. I broke one of his Japanese robots from the 60s. Those things go for $10,000. Wait. You can literally... That was me. I felt like such an ass. I felt like such an ass. Felt like such a dick. And we were in his closet by this point, and he looked like this. He looked so angry, and his veins were popping out of his head, and he was like, "I want to show you something else." And he takes me down to his basement, and by this point, I'm like, okay, this guy really likes me. And he shows me a beautiful collection of stuff, like the craziest collection of Hot Wheels, like all this cool stuff. And, me being the guy I am, I want to learn more. So I'm sitting at his bar talking to him like this. I'm trying to learn all of his little tricks and tips on how he got into collecting. And then he's like, "I want to show you something else." And then he takes me to another room in his basement, and this is just like a concrete room, and then he stands in the middle of the room, and then he's got his shoes and socks off too, so we're both barefoot in this bare concrete room. He's standing in the middle of the room, and there's a drain in the middle of the room, and he's standing like his feet are above the drain, and he just goes like this with his feet. And he's like, come here. I want you to try something. I go over there. Do what I just did. And by this point, he's looking dead at me. He's looking straight at me. And I go, he does it with me. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed. But after that, I felt intrigued. I felt invigorated. This man lit a flame in my soul. I left his house. Okay, I could see things that I went to a restaurant on the way home, okay? The lady asked me, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? I just stood up and walked out. By that point, I didn't even want food. I want more. I want to think about things that other people aren't thinking about. And I think what I can take away from this experience is, we're losing human connection and what we can learn from others. This man took me into his basement. I had no socks on. He had no socks on. Bare concrete room. What did I learn? I can't tell you. But I can feel it. I feel happier. I do. And I think you guys should feel happier too. Why don't you go out there and learn something from your fellow people?